Hello Team Absolution fans, before we get started with this video, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Magic Satchel. If you need cards, singles, case splits, playset splits, whatever you need in terms of Vanguard, Premium, or Standard, make sure you reach out to our sponsor, the Magic Satchel, for all your needs, including sleeves and mats as well, deck boxes too. Of course, you can find him on TCG Player, eBay, and as well as his email, themagicsatchelstore@gmail.com. Of course, that'll be up where you see right now on your screen. It'll also be in a link in the description. As always, we want to thank him for everything he does for us. So give him all your love and support when you need your Vanguard stuff. And now, back to the video.
Look, I'll be the first to admit, Bushiroad has gotten better about their product over the last year or so. But we think they could do better.
Yeah.
Stick around. Hey, Absolution fans! Behind the bar once again, time for a discussion vid. I got the Immortal Greed here with me.
Hello.
My roommate and best friend, Matt. One of my best friends. As you know.
Yeah, he said it. It's recorded now. I've won.
One of. Let me put a one of, like like a rainbow color. We both come from a... Vanguard was not the first card game we played.
Nah.
For me, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! And for you...
It was Yu-Gi-Oh!
It was Yu-Gi-Oh! As well.
Actually, well, if you want to get real technical, it was collecting Pokemon cards back in the playground.
Well, that doesn't count, because I also played the Pokemon cards in like 4th grade. That doesn't count. It's cheating.
No.
Nobody knew how to play the game. You just summon the shiniest card you had.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it was a Rattata. Somehow it wins.
Dude, Vanilla Monsters, I gave them my own effects. No, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! We both played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Dude, I was pretty bad at that the first couple games too. I had no idea what was going on. Show was not very an educational tool. Which kudos to Vanguard, because it actually does show you how to play the game accurately and correctly. So we started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And we played Yu-Gi-Oh! For years before we transitioned to Vanguard. Mm-hmm. Mine was probably close to, I think, I would say 12 years before I transitioned to Vanguard, and probably around the same for you. Mm-hmm. So we've been through the ringer of Komani and Konami. Vanguard and Bushiroad do product very differently. Mm-hmm. And while a lot of what Konami does is not good, some of the things they do is just fun. Mm-hmm. And it's things that, while as a collector maybe you don't like because reprints destroy value of cards, like the Hash Slinging Slasher.
Wow.
But that doesn't make them not good for players. And I think a card game should focus most on their players. And second,
the product should be accessible first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Putting it in the right stores, but most importantly, in the right form. Obviously, every card game is going to have its booster boxes. That's your bread and butter. I don't know any game that doesn't. Okay, Keyforge doesn't count. But any like TCG game, Vanguard, Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Kaijudo to an extent. Rest in peace. They all
Naruto, Duel Master, Shaman King, Yu Yu Hakusho.
The list goes on. They've all got their booster boxes. But what Konami did for making cards accessible was their variety of products. And for that, we're referring to tins, special editions, special products that you can get that are not just, pick up 24 packs, open, you got your set ratios. I think they did a lot of good things with that.
Yeah, and while, like I said, for the collector this was never really the best thing, but for the player like myself, both as a child and as I grew up, granted, as I grew up, the tin was no longer an attractive thing to own.
Right.
But the cards inside of the tin were attractive. So let's start off with some of the things that I like that Bushiroad does, or that they've gotten better with over time. Mm-hmm. So one, they've implemented, every once in a while we get start decks, which are like $9.99. And they're basically just to get you started. Occasionally they'll have good stuff like the new ones that are coming out. At the time of this recording, the newest ones that are coming out are Royal Paladin and Shadow Paladin one. Mm-hmm. That both include Blaster Blade and Alfred for the Royal one, and Blaster Dark and PBD for the Shadow Paladin one. And for $9.99 or like $10, that's really good. Like a $10, like that's the kind of level I'm talking about. The Revival Collection is the closest to reprint set, but it's nowhere near the level of a reprint set that you'd see in Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's Vanguard. If Premium's ever going to be taken seriously, it needs a reprint set. Not taken seriously, but like you said earlier, accessibility is hugely important. And for Premium to be accessible, look, I just was able to steal myself a Victor deck for my boy Mac. He wants to play some Premium now. He's interested.
We're going to give it a shot.
But like, we were daunted at the task of tracking down all the Victor stuff you would need. And having to pay for all the Victor stuff you would need.
Right.
Because as things age, they tend to increase in price a little bit, if they're good.
And most Vanguard stuff, I mean, you can go back and, I mean, look online now. I mean, unless you know a guy who knows a guy, most of the time, if you try to find an old set or an old box, it's going to run you minimum $30, all the way up to an average of $40, $50 for an old case. And most people don't want to pay that for cards that they're going to pull, that are going to sit in bulk, and you might pull, you know, 1 or 2 cards you need out of a deck. You're going to have to buy the singles, and people will gouge you for them. But with the Konami approach, as I kind of want to call it, you know, this might be a little more feasible with a reprint set, or, you know, a pack of promos you could get.
Yeah. Also, like reprint sets were really, really good. Yugi's World, the Dual Academy years,
Dark
Joey's
Beginnings,
World,
to go even further back.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Dark Beginnings,
Retro
1
Pack.
and 2, Retro Pack, Dark. We can talk. We have a very love-hate relationship with Yu-Gi-Oh!
We've been on a kick recently.
We hate where it was. We hate where it's gone. We love where it was.
We're basically just giant parasites that feed off of our nostalgia. But I digress. What I loved most about Konami was, for me personally, I loved their tins. Okay, starting at about halfway down, they reprinted really expensive cards that no young player could ever hope to get their hands on. Cards that were hundreds of dollars, then came in a super rare format that were easy to get. But we've never heard hide nor hair of Bushi even mentioning something like this. Granted, it doesn't have to be an identical, you know, they're copying Yu-Gi-Oh's tins. But, you know, some way to collect those expensive VRs that are sitting at, you know, a solid $30, $40 and will never go down because decks are just that popular.
Yeah. What I'll add to that as well is, when Fighters Collection came out in Fighters Collection 2014, I'm going to say. Fighters Collection 2014 introduced, like, these really nice, like old bosses with, like, hot stamped, like, foiling flavor text. Like, Dote said the end will never fall. Like, dude, those would have been perfect in a tin format.
Absolutely.
Throw that in first of all, Bushiroad is foolish to think if the Art of Vanguard wouldn't sell as a tin alone. If I could, if they ever released tins, I would buy every tin regardless of the card just to put it on a wall.
Yeah.
With the art of the unit, like, blown up a little bit bigger, because Vanguard's strongest asset, in my opinion, one of its strongest assets is its art. Its art is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really good to look at aesthetically. I've sometimes wanted to play clans purely based on the aesthetic.
There's a clan for, I would hesitate to say there's a clan for anyone that would want to get into a card game in Vanguard. Like, there's just something cool for everybody. You know, you got robots, you got dragons, you got knights, you got cute girls, you got cute fish girls.
I really like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Boy, do I have something.
Cue Johnny Depp.
I only played Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, and I like the Pirates of the Caribbean one. Boy, I got you something.
Yeah, no, the Art of Vanguard would look great on a tin. Fantastic. And those the hot stamp cards, I think would be a hit, especially now. Now that now that every deck has their first round of support out, I think that's totally fair to do.
Absolutely.
Give me your main boss with a big old gold stamp saying the clan name or something.
And I think that, and not only that, but we talked about special editions like the old days. Like, for some reason, I have the whatever the Yu-Gi-Oh set was, the one the Lost Millennium. I bought a ton of the Lost Millennium special edition.
Yeah.
Even though it was a garbage set, I bought a ton of that Heroes. And they had like special edition cards in the back, and I think that was really cool.
And it was a little sampler too, because like. If you notice, you go to any kind of like department store or a Walmart or a Target or what have you, they're not going to sell full booster boxes. And you know, God help you if you don't have a local card shop nearby. But that was where they flourished. You saw those tins and you saw those special editions at places that were accessible, very accessible. And you got those little 3-packs. I remember in Yu-Gi-Oh! It was like 3 packs for $10, and on the back of them you got a variant promo card, and it was always exciting to see what we'd get. And I think there's a lot of space for Bushi to get in on that market.
And to continue the sandwich of good and bad, I like that Bushi does have promo packs for the tournaments.
Definitely,
like that.
definitely.
And the promo packs aren't like Bushi Road or Konami ones, for example, which only goes to the winners, like TV packs and stuff like that. Or I forget what they were called in the future.
Turbo, Astral,
Turbo
Champion
Astral,
Pack.
Champion Pack, yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't like that. I think that having promo packs that go to everybody is really nice. Granted, it's only one card, but whatever.
Yeah.
What else is I want to talk about is like product exclusive promos. I was a Shonen Jump fan.
Oh yeah.
And I owned Shonen Jump for a long time in my childhood, back when it was print. And there was nothing cooler than getting like alt-art product. Like, it was so cool that being a Shonen Jump exclusive, I got these Yu-Gi-Oh cards every once in a while that not everyone had, and they were kind of cool. I remember Amazon has Swords Woman.
Yeah.
The one that Swords Woman came in the Shonen Jump. My favorite Blue Eyes art comes in the Shonen Jump. Well, originally was a Shonen Jump exclusive. The one with him on top of the in front of the world.
Yeah.
The one with him in front of the world.
Oh, the moon one. That's right.
Yeah, and then the red. One of my favorite Red Eyes arts also from that set. That was their second anniversary one. Victory Dragon ironically came from the Shonen Jump promo.
Yeah.
And then a lot of band cards come from Shonen Jump promos.
For better or for worse, Shonen Jump had some interesting cards to give
Victory
us.
Dragon, I think Exchange of the Spirit was originally a Shonen Jump promo.
Yeah.
Also banned for a long time. I think they brought it in, but
and there's like a slight, like, I know we live in America, which is kind of like already a step down for us in relation to us getting kind of cool things, because you did have stuff sort of like this, maybe not exclusive cards, but like I know in Japan they had in every pack you open you had the potential piece of paper to give you points.
Oh, and the points you could trade in for like super exclusive
like
stuff,
cool sleeves and stuff.
Stuff like that would have been so cool over here.
And it would have been Bushiroad. Okay, Vanguard's huge now, really really big, but it was nothing to scoff at before. Vanguard was stealing people from different card games back in the day when they were like, I'm kind of tired of this. Everyone over there is shouting and screaming about triggers. What are they talking about? The game had its popularity, and I think there would have been a huge market for the point collection stuff and exclusive cards like that. But we never
They've
got
gotten a little
access.
bit better with that now, with like marker, the special foiled markers
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and how we can get those kind of things. They've improved a little bit, but they could totally like more adapt their Asian market strategy with the points, because some of the stuff you can get with those points is so cool.
Oh yeah.
And then they sell. There's a reason why they sell so well over here in the second-hand market, because so many people over there like scoop up as many points as they can because they know they can flip that stuff here when we don't have it. Bushiroad is really missing the opportunity to just scoop up all that for themselves.
Deck boxes, sleeves, anything, you name it. That'll go for a fancy price over here.
Also, like the fact that this is completely outside of the range, but this is going to be Jose's tangent corner for one second, my soapbox. Why? It takes not that long to localize a video game. Like, dude. Talking about product exclusive promos, every part of the plus of getting any Yu-Gi-Oh game was the crazy product game exclusive. It was the only way to get the Magnet Warriors for a while.
The DDS Blue Eyes, which is now hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Wait, DDS? Oh, the Dark Duel Stories?
Yeah.
That had Blue Eyes in it?
It had the parallel promo Blue Eyes, which is now $1 billion.
I did not know the DDS had the Game Boy one?
Yeah.
The game was impossible to play.
But no, that's why you bought the Yu-Gi-Oh games, was for the cool cards. We may as well just title this video, Do It Like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Now, granted, they were rarely ever good cards, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Blue Eyes one, yeah, because it's Blue Eyes, but like the Magnet Warriors you really couldn't use at the time.
Yeah.
I think one of the one of the other Yu-Gi-Oh games had like Knight's Title and Dark Magician Knight and Sage's Stone. Now, Sage's Stone was a good card though. Sage's Stone was okay.
Yeah.
But
no, it doesn't take that long to localize a game.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Luckily, I think that the rumor is that the Vanguard game that's coming for Switch, because the Switch is region locked, or is not region locked rather. You'll be able to download that game, and I think it has English support. Even if it doesn't, I'm still playing it because it's region. I didn't have to. The only reason I didn't get the ones in Japanese is I would have had to get the Japanese 3DS, which I wasn't gonna fork over $200 for a heckin' Vanguard game.
Yeah, no. But the last thing that we want to talk about, And one of our favorite things to do.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Was draft sets. And in back to Yu-Gi-Oh again. It's it's kind of our point to start at. But Battle Pack 2, and to a lesser extent Star Pack. But we don't talk about that. But draft sets were so much fun. Way back when I did early Vanguard before I quit. I was the TO at my locals, and I loved to do special tournaments. It was the most fun. We did tag fight, team fight, special rules tournaments, but one of our favorites was a format called Lazy Peon. And it was basically you couldn't use a card that was higher than a single R rarity. So you had to use your commons and rares. The idea was to get your lazy other cards that you never use into a deck, get them working. And that kind of it harkened to me because me and Ryan Doombringer, way back we bought a box of Battle Pack 1 and we had it out, and it was one of the most fun nights I'd had in such a long time. Playing draft for a pre-release, I would say draft is a little more it's iffy. You only got a couple of packs, it's not as good. But when you crack a whole box of that stuff, you can make the deck out of the whole gambit you got. That's a good time.
And really with draft sets, here's something that I think that what draft sets bring out is the enjoyability to just, you didn't have a choice. You got what you got and you did the best with what you had, right, in a draft set. Which means nobody's deck is perfect because it's efficient. Mm-hmm. If you do sealed battle pack, those are 6 packs. You didn't have any play on what's in them, but you have to play them. I like sealed a lot.
Yeah.
Draft, there's some strategy in draft because
you
can slowly build towards a deck that you want to play as you go. Sealed I really like because, look, I'm a competitive individual. Matt's pretty competitive. The team is pretty competitive if you've ever spoken to us. So we play what is good that also fits into the world of what we like. Mm-hmm. We play what's good and what we like. Braxton is the pinnacle of this. Braxton bounces from Shadows and Kagero and Royals when it's especially good because there are 3 good clans that stay on the pinnacle of competitiveness. I don't not appreciate innovation and the ability of ingenuity. Thinking of a weird deck that might work, even if it doesn't, I respect your ingenuity and your ability to do it. In a competitive landscape, I'm the deck isn't going to work because you're going to get bopped by tier 1, tier 1, tier 1.
That's why recently we've really been liking the Link Joker's grade 1s and 2s. They're all doing weird things, weird interactive things that Vanguard hasn't really taken down that path because they're interesting, they're new. And granted, they might not be the best. Who knows? But it's fun, and kudos to you for trying.
Yeah, the thing is, taking it back full circle to draft sets. Draft sets take cards that would otherwise, strategies and gameplays that would otherwise never see play, and now you have no choice but to do it. Mm-hmm. These are all sets that you have to play, and you wonder but how could you draft Vanguard? Just make it right now there is draft rules for Vanguard sets, but make a set designed in that way where all the units kind of would work with each other in a certain way. Mm-hmm. It could also be a pretty good way to do a reprint set.
I was just going to say, if you didn't, this is that, and harkening back, once again, to Battle Pack, they reprinted Tour Guide. You guys remember that card? If some of you guys remember, that card was $120 at one point. They reprinted a black rare Tour Guide, and that thing was, granted it was still $30, but it was a great way to get the Tour Guide. Reprints is, I don't know, I think it's a great way to be accessible, to try to wrap this up and be a little bit cohesive about it. I know we've been bouncing everywhere with it, but we want to have fun with it. We want to have fun with Vanguard in a little bit of a different way. Standard is kind of a way for that. You see clans that weren't very good in the beginning, and they're getting their bosses. That's what I always thought was cool about Standard was Gigarex? Whoever would play Gigarex in
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Spike Bouncer? We just read what Spike Bouncer actually did.
We read old Spike Bouncer recently and almost vomited. And look at our boy now.
What a true champion.
But yeah.
The thing is, there's a lot of what they could do that, and this is not to say that Bushiroad has, look, if you've seen our videos, we are the first to hark on Bushi. And Bushi is starting in some ways to go back to their old selves. Royal Paladin's getting a lot of support it shouldn't have gotten. It's going to get some more. Kagero to a certain extent. Maybe when we change protagonist, the Royal Paladin train will end, or maybe Daigo will come and save me with some stand card action. I don't know. But the premium collection was a huge step in the right direction. I just want more cards in a set like that. And I know it's hard given the amount of clans, but you could do it. To just dump a freaking 400 card set full of hot premium reprints and it'll sell because people want them.
That's
people
true.
need them. And if you want to grow both formats, you need reprints. You need them. Every card game I can think of at one point dumps reprints like it's nobody's business. I think Pokemon does it.
Pokemon's very good at giving you reprints.
Magic does it. I think Magic even does it with their high rated stuff. I think like Modern Masters has a lot of like a bunch of reprints.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Magic is probably my least knowledgeable card game. So if I'm wrong about that, I apologize. But I think that while Bushiroad has taken steps to improve themselves, there's a lot of gold mine. And people ask like, what does it take for Vanguard to break the shell? And it's gonna take things like that. Accessibility is huge to any card game.
Yeah, I remember there was way back in Walmart. There was set 6 being sold in blister packs. I was like, this has never been seen before, and I bought all of them, and there was never any more since then.
I bought the same thing at the Walmart when I went to college. But at the time that I started going to see them, it was still set 6, but they were 50% off.
Ooh.
And I bought them all. Like every time I saw them, I bought them. And it was, dude, I always pulled the Grand Blue like double R.
Thanatos.
Every time I pulled a Thanatos, and I was like, I hate this card. This card has done nothing but make me sad.
But with that being said, those are our thoughts on, what Bushi could do, special products, Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat, if you will.
Actually, you know what? For this video, I want you to hit in the comments if you want us to do more nostalgia-filled rants about other... Because we have between the team, you, me, probably Ryan, Alston, Keith, we have an extensive knowledge of card games we've played and like just nostalgic moments and stuff like that, and how they relate to the card games that we play now. So let us know if that's the kind of stuff you're interested in. If not, still hit the subscribe button for more content from Team Absolution. This is the Captain of the Immortal Greed signing off. Peace.
Bye.